Welcome to Reddit Bonds. My life took a turn I never anticipated, let me tell you. One often hears about such occurrences affecting others, but when it impacts your own reality, the experience feels utterly surreal. My spouse, who will soon be my ex-wife, became completely unhinged a few months ago. Here's the situation. We had been married for 6 years, a span I genuinely believed indicated a steadfast partnership. Like any couple, we encountered our share of difficulties, but I never once imagined she would be capable of infidelity. It turns out my perception of her was not as accurate as I once thought. Last year, she became pregnant, and at first, I was overjoyed. The prospect of becoming a father was something I had always eagerly anticipated. I began planning every detail, from visualizing nursery designs and contemplating baby names to finding myself emotionally touched by tiny infant clothing in stores. However, subtle signs of trouble soon began to surface. Her behavior grew noticeably peculiar. She would become defensive over the most minor remarks. Her mobile phone was perpetually affixed to her hand as if it were an additional appendage, and she suddenly had an abundance of late work commitments or social evenings with female friends. You can likely predict where this narrative is heading, as did I. Despite my inner reservations, a part of me resisting the painful truth, I conducted my own investigation. Yet, reality possesses a way of confronting you, whether you wish to acknowledge it or not. She had been involved with an individual she encountered through her workplace. The crucial detail: he is the child's biological parent. Upon this discovery, it felt as though my entire existence had been submerged in ice-cold water. I confronted her, and she confessed everything. She wept, she pleaded, claiming it was an error and professing her love for me. But let's be honest, an intimate relationship maintained for several months is hardly an accidental slip. Time advanced to the infant's arrival. She sat there, cradling this tiny new life, and then had the sheer nerve to request my signature on the birth certificate. Allow me to reiterate, she expected me to affix my name to a legal record, thereby formally declaring me the father of another man's offspring. I stared at her, genuinely believing she had lost her grasp on reality, which indeed she had. My response was immediate, steady, and unequivocal: I will not affix my signature to any document. This is not my offspring, and I refuse to feign paternity. Her reaction was explosive. I had witnessed her anger previously, but this outburst transcended anything I'd ever experienced. She began shrieking about my supposed abandonment, the baby's need for a paternal figure, and my perceived lack of compassion. She attempted to manipulate me emotionally, uttering phrases like, "I believed you cherished me, I believed you cherished us." I remained unwavering. "I cherished the partnership we possessed before you introduced another individual into our union," I stated. "This isn't about my being unfeeling, it's about valuing myself sufficiently to abstain from falsifying paternity for this child." She wept, she screamed, and then she shifted to negotiation. She vehemently vowed her relationship with the other man was concluded, that she wished to reconcile, suggesting therapy. "We can establish a new beginning as a family," she urged. That term, family, pierced me. The familial unit we had been constructing didn't simply disintegrate, she deliberately incinerated it. I informed her of my intention to initiate divorce proceedings, and I was entirely serious. I gathered my possessions, secured my own dwelling, and redirected my energy inward. She continues her attempts to persuade me to return, but I have reached my limit. The truly astonishing detail is that the man she was unfaithful with desires no association with either her or the infant. Apparently, he too is married, leaving her to navigate single motherhood while imploring my pardon. Some individuals might perceive my actions as severe, yet I disagree. Personal limits are paramount, and maintaining self-esteem is fundamentally non-negotiable. So, there it is, my experience. I take no satisfaction in the way these events transpired, but I am content with my conduct throughout. Life presents unexpected challenges, and occasionally, one simply must evade and allow them to pass by.